An inner-city high school hall and National Basketball League battlers, the Melbourne Tigers, are sharing the court with some rowdy kids. Basketball might be hitting the big time in this country, but here at Hobson's Bay High, you see the other side. Coach Lindsay Gaze has seen it all. The grey hair, the probing eyes, the searching expression sum it up.
Without exception, from here, I can see maybe Andrew's trying a little bit, Mark's trying a bit, I see a little bit here and there. Like I say, on a scale of 1 to 10, about 2.5.
He's been around basketball since the 1956 Melbourne Olympics and before. Was national coach for the best part of 15 years and helped make the Boomers into a genuine world force. He's also done a fair job with this bloke, 22-year-old son Andrew, who looks like keeping the Gaze basketball dynasty in the headlines for the next decade or so. At first the knockers said young Andrew was playing for Australia because his dad was the coach. Against the Russians in Melbourne last year, he wiped those memories away forever with a brilliant individual performance that spellbound the 7,000 people at the Glass House. The boy with the angelic looks fired in 11 three-pointers and tallied up 44 points in one of the great sharpshooting displays seen in this country. With the clock running down, the ball found itself in his hands.
And it's 5 seconds to go, and Australia down by 3. Look for the ball to go back to Gaze. There it is. He's 1 for 3. Andrew Gaze heaving them in from everywhere at 45 points.
At 6'6", Gaze might melt in with the basketball crowd, but at Footscray Tech, the applied science student is a standout. With his Olympic selection a mere formality on Friday, Gaze must now decide whether he will accept an offer from Seton Hall University in Newark, New Jersey, and move into the tough Big East Conference.
I'm not 100% committed, but I've signed a letter of intent which says that if I do go to the United States, I will be attending Seton Hall University. After the Olympics, I'll commit myself one way or the other.
For Australia's greatest basketball talent, the changeover would be relatively smooth.
It's very similar. What I'm hoping for is that it's just a new experience, it's a different experience. I've been with the club now, the Melbourne Tigers, since I was 5 years old, and I think it becomes a bit of a routine.
Watching Gaze in his number 10 singlet for the Melbourne Tigers in action against the Brisbane Bullets, you get some idea of the way he can dominate a game. Last season he averaged 44 points plus in 20 games in the NBL in a side that finished last. A 7-point improvement on 1986.
Taken away from Loggins by Gaze, and he opens his account.
Father Lindsay believes the US college scene would be a good stepping stone, but not, as many people would believe, into the big-time NBA.
People talk about the possibility of going to the pros or being drafted and so on. Any young player in the United States ought to realise that you've got about as much chance of doing that as being hit by lightning.
US imports James Bullock and Elvis Rogers are teammates with Gaze on the Tigers lineup and both are products of the NCAA system. Bullock points out one major difference.
Exactly. You go to the parks at home, I know where I'm from, and you look around and everybody's got a basketball in their hand, talking about Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and this and that. Over here, they're kicking the ball around, yelling Jason Dunstall. So, I mean, it's just different cultures.
Lindsay started coaching his son as a 16-year-old and has seen him rise in class, the potential growing into fully fledged stardom.
His scoring has always been consistent, and that's what people mostly recognise. But the other aspects of his game, his passing, his better playmaking abilities and leading the team as far as the organisation has improved quite significantly this year. He doesn't play so much on emotion alone.
The Melbourne Tigers won't be a force in the NBL this season, despite the drive of Lindsay, the desire of Andrew and the new blood from the United States. The next target for the younger Gaze will be the Olympic build-up, the matches against the Americans and Russians, the top 2 teams at Seoul who are dropping in for a series of warm-ups, and then the Olympics themselves.
The draw has a major impact on our expected performance, but I think if we can just play to our level of our ability, then I think we can compete with most teams anyway.
In Los Angeles, Andrew Gaze was an 18-year-old, the youngest player ever to represent his country at an Olympic Games basketball tournament. In Seoul, come September, he returns as Australia's top player.